Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say welcome back, Rob.
Welcome back, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and birds in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We had a little unplanned vacation last week as a couple independent mishaps forced us to cancel both shows, but we are back today and more excited than ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are only a week removed from what I believe is the largest single ban announcement in the history of Magic, besides potentially like the first one.
Yeah.
Right. And even then, this might have been bigger with 15 cards leaving 4 different formats.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was absolutely nuts. But getting basically every card that people have been hating across every format and just saying, you know what, we're just going to listen to the people and just get rid of everything that people hate, including Uro from every format. And Uro, especially in Modern, was just absolutely dominant. And if you weren't playing it, you better be playing a deck that was good against Uro. Otherwise, that's it. That was your category. Are you Uro or are you good against it? Or are you wrong?
I've compared the ban announcement to spring cleaning. Where there was a lot of junk in the attic of different non-standard formats.
Yeah.
And it just kind of needed to get cleared out.
Yeah.
So that we can enjoy that space and, set up our train set.
Yeah, a lot of Wizards, cluttered rooms that they're like, we don't need to deal with Pioneer Modern yet. I guess we can wait a little bit here until March to clean that out and then cleanse them free. Yeah. That's a perfect analogy.
So now we are looking at Modern with some fresh eyes.
Yep.
And bringing you some of that format today, playing decks that did well last weekend in various tournaments, whether it was MTGO Challenges. I know Nerd Rage Gaming had an event. Mm-hmm. So definitely some good Modern action going on over the weekend, and we're here to break it all down.
Yeah, exactly. We were going to be playing some Modern decks last week, just kind of guessing what would be good. Maybe for the best that there was a snowstorm here in Roanoke, because who knows how good our decks really were. But
it saved you from seeing how wrong we would have been.
Exactly. But these are the decks that did have some success, and I'll be starting with an Azorius control deck that actually won the only Modern challenge that was this last weekend. I usually thought there was 2, but I could only find 1.
There was 2. It took a little while for WotC to post the results of the second.
Okay.
There were 2 Heliod decks in the finals of the second one.
Okay. And that makes sense. Heliod is extremely good against a lot of decks, but it wasn't very good against these Uro Mystic Sanctuary decks because you just got to buy back removal, buy back cryptic commands to counter and stuff, and they're just a green-white deck that played at sorcery speed. So it makes sense that deck kind of gets unlocked because it's a really hard combo deck to play against.
Yeah,
and it's really resilient.
Very resilient. We're going to see that one a little bit later in the show.
Yep.
But starting with Azorius Control, definitely the most successful control deck over the weekend. Also took second place in the NRG event. There were some Esper control decks that were a little bit more draw go with Esper Charm as well.
Esper Charm in Modern. What a time to be alive.
Yeah. But this Azorius shell that is, all cards that you would expect, nothing out of place here. But the real big story is the return of Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it is, one of the most iconic cards in the history of Magic, but certainly in the history of Modern. Yeah. And has been a defining card in the format for many years, but Uro really pushed it out. The blue decks weren't interested in playing that kind of marginal value game because of Mystic Sanctuary and Uro, both dealing with the graveyard as well, and just generally being more powerful.
Yeah. You didn't want a 1-for-1, and get a little bit of value with a 2-1. That was not what Games of Modern were really all about here. So it is nice to see that card back. Now playing a few.
Snappy is back here. You got your Planeswalkers. You got your Supreme Verdicts, your Path to Exiles.
I'm pretty stoked. I love Azorius Control. I really do. It's one of my pet decks.
And you're going to be pitting it up against another, I would say classic Modern archetype, but with a twist.
Yeah.
This to me, this is a Mardu mid-range deck, Mardu Stoneblade. Really just kind of a Jund deck. Powerful, value-generating threats, good disruption, good removal. Things like Lingering Souls, Liliana of the Veil, Croxa, and Stoneforge Mystic, and Seasoned Pyromancer. So a lot of card advantage from my side, but a little bit more aggressive. But, essentially a Jund deck in Mardu colors.
Yeah, and that does seem like one of the decks that would be pretty good against like Heliod decks, kind of preying upon them of just killing everything essentially. probably a little weak to the card Heliod specifically. But it makes sense why this kind of deck did do well if people are gravitating towards that kind of stuff. We'll see how it does up against a control shell, but
typically these matchups have been pretty close. Usually the black mid-range decks were favored pre-Teferi, and post-Teferi the blue decks have been a little bit ahead. So I would say slight edge to the blue-white deck. But
are you saying Hero of Dominaria or Time Raveler?
Hero of Dominaria.
Okay.
Just having such a powerful planeswalker that was easy to protect was a huge dynamic for the matchup from the control side. But this Mardu list has a lot of cards that are specifically great against control, Lingering Souls and Liliana in particular. So those should help out quite a bit. I'm expecting a good match.
All right, well, let's try it. Let's get to it. Everybody keep your questions flowing in. I know we haven't been here in so long, so I bet you're just dying to ask us all kinds of things.
Yeah, you can ask us about the Utah Jazz or Joe Ingles.
Or other Utah Jazz-like questions. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'll be going... I just normally think I'm going first, but yeah, I guess you get to go first.
You will not be going first. Apparently, the last time we were here 7 months ago...
Yeah, I took it down.
You managed to win a show, which honestly, that doesn't seem right, Rob.
No, honestly, it makes sense. So I won a show, and then the next week was canceled because everything froze over. So,
that does make sense. That tracks.
Checks out.
What doesn't track is the fact that my hand has no lands in it.
Oh, I think you need those. My hand just looks like, good old-fashioned nostalgia here. I love these cards. I will keep. Not necessarily perfect. Our curve is a little bit wonky here, but for sure not mulliganing that one.
Welcome to playing Control.
Yes, exactly.
We'll say the first thing is Chad is very mad you're not playing Yorion.
Not playing what?
Yorion.
Oh, yes, I know. I have to put a Yorion limit, at least in Modern, because Yorion is just not good in Modern, Standard, I'll play, green, red, aggro, splash white for Yorion or something, no problem, but figure in Modern, we'll start by playing the decks people had success with. We'll have a Yorion Modern show later down the road.
I would not put it past you to just put 4 Omen of the Sea in your Modern control deck and
add some lands. Let's go. Not too bad. There is one Yorion deck that I do think is quite good that I want to play. I don't know if it must not have had too much success, but Batatinia, a really popular online grinder, played a 5-color Niv to light deck that had Yorion and like abundant growth and stuff, and he went 5-0, 10-0 in a league with it, so I was like, yep, sign me up.
Makes sense. Okay, this is definitely a keep. We will put back the land that doesn't help us cast all of our spells.
All right, bring it on.
And I'll lead on Black Leaf plus Thoughtseize.
Okay.
Also, Ross, since you asked for it, Gecko 112023 asks, what's Joe Ingles' career points per game average?
Career points per game for Joe Ingles is probably about 10, maybe 9.5 because of his first couple of years where he didn't get a ton of playing time. But the last 4 years, he's probably at closer to 11 and a half.
I'm going to look up his career average right now.
Okay.
I literally looked at these last night, Rob. So, okay.
Ross memorizes them.
8.5.
Okay, I was close.
All right, what are you taking?
This is a tough one.
It is interesting, yeah. Snapcaster is going to be good eventually, but it's for sure not good now.
Yeah, I've got... the question is sort of how much pressure do I really have with my hand, and it's not a ton. I'm actually kind of scared of this Jace, and you usually want to take good card advantage generating threats.
Yep.
You just assume the game is going to go long. A lot of the times with the discard spells, you're looking to poke a hole in someone's curve. Against control decks, especially out of mid-range, you're really just looking to take the most powerful card.
Yep, I totally agree. Those are the ones that get you.
Okay, Plains Magmatic Channeler.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Yeah, that card's interesting to me. Sometimes it feels awesome. Sometimes it feels so unplayable,
I agree.
Yep.
It's a very hit or miss card.
I will play this and pass to you.
Cute with Lingering Souls.
They're very cute with that, yep. And I mean, it's taken over games before, but it's also, I've left it on the battlefield and it's done nothing. I don't know if I've ever played the card, but...
Okay, I'm going to go to 16 for a Blood Crypt.
Okay.
And I'm going to play a Seasoned Pyromancer.
Seasoned Pyro.
I'm going to be able to pressure it to Fairy should Corey want to cast it.
I'm going to respond with an opt. I suppose I keep this one, and yep, that resolves.
Okay. Discard Sword of Feast and Famine and Inquisition of Kozilek.
Okay.
That'll get me 2 of these lovely and handsome elemental tokens.
So handsome.
And I guess I will then attack for 1.
Okay, I will go to 19.
19 to 16, and I'll pass the turn.
3, 4, 5. All right, end step, I'll sack this. I'll go to 18.
Yep. Now I do have 5 power on the battlefield if Corey wants to go Teferi plus.
Yep, that's the math I was doing too. It doesn't look good for Teferi next turn, so probably won't be casting that one. Gonna untap, draw. All right, I will play a land and pass to you.
Okay, and the other card Channeler is cute with is Karoxa.
That's cute, yep.
Now I exile 2, and I get to choose 1, and I can play it. So I can choose the land if I want it.
Yep.
I don't have a land drop to make this turn, and I do want to get closer to this Karoxa, but I'm scared of Supreme Verdict on this turn. So I think
I have 3 mana, so
I think I just want to take the Thoughtseize and cast it.
Okay. Don't think I need to respond to this because my hand is quite redundant. So yeah, there you go.
That is cute. Okay. So this is going to put the 3rd instant and sorcery into my graveyard.
Okay.
So Channeler's still not big. I still think I just take a Snapcaster Mage.
Okay.
That's going to bring me to 14.
I'm winning.
And I assume regardless of what I do, I think Corey is snapping the opt to potentially be able to land Teferi cleanly, but
I might snap that off.
maybe landing the Teferi doesn't even seem that important, and Corey might want to hold the Snapcaster for something better and also dig further towards a Supreme Verdict with both opts. So, yeah, I'm going to send in with everybody.
In with the clowns, huh?
Oh, 2 clowns.
2 clowns,
and a
yeah.
Seasoned Pyromancer.
Okay, I'm going to play Snapcaster. I am going to opt. We'll check
Definitely want to opt before blocks here.
Yeah, this Vendilion click doesn't seem like what I want right now. Draw that. Then this does help you with Karoxa, but I still think I want to just maximize what I get off the battlefield, so I'll block that, take 2.
So you're at 16, I'm at 14.
16, yep.
And you bottomed. I'm just going to extend another Channeler.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. I will untap a draw. You're pretty far away from Karoxa with that plains, too. I didn't really realize that. That's not helping you too much.
Awkwardly drew the plains.
Yep. The plains. Okay. Teferi seems awkward. It's 1 more sorcery in this pops, right? Okay, so I don't really want to risk that. So I'm going to opt to start. I guess that's not awful. That's not good. Let's see. I think this is a close bottom. Bottom that.
As opposed to a far bottom.
Yes, exactly. Draw. Then I'll just play a land and pass to you.
Okay, plays an island specifically there when I knew about field. That is suggestive of Archmage's charm.
Could be.
So, that was a good draw.
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
And I will activate Magmatic Channeler, discarding Lingering Souls.
Okay, yep. And Pyromancer.
I am going to take the Marsh Flats.
Okay.
Play it.
Okay.
I am then going to play a Seasoned Pyromancer from my hand.
I'll mana leak that. Don't want you to draw some fresh cards.
And then I will attack for 6.
6, yep.
I have the 4th spell in my graveyard.
Okay, I will go to 10.
Okay, pass the turn.
All right. Opt.
Now, even if Corey does have a Supreme Verdict, I have so much action in my graveyard between these Seasoned Pyromancers, Kroxa, Lingering Souls. So if I draw a spell, hopefully I can double spell with the Souls. If I draw a land, I can either Kroxa or Pyromancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is pretty strong.
It might look like I'm on empty, but I've got a lot still going on here.
Yeah, you're cooking. You're cooking.
You have 3 unknowns?
3 unknowns.
I also just have lethal damage on the battlefield.
Yeah, lethal damage is a little frightening as well. So I do think I have to have the jig be up for Teferi here and just kind of stem the bleeding since I haven't found a verdict. I'm going to bounce a Channeler. And I'm going to play a Flooded Strand. I have a field.
Yep.
And I'll pass to you.
I'll correct this fetch on the end step.
Okay.
Brings me to 13. Get a Godless Shrine.
Okay. Godless Shrine, huh? Yeah, these channelers, once they get big, it's definitely scary.
Very scary.
2 mana 4/4, not bad.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid this game.
Yep.
They're definitely one of the cards I had my eye on coming in playing this deck.
Yep.
And how do I want to play this turn? I think I'm going to start by sending both Me's at Teferi and Channeler at you.
Okay. Playing around a removal spell there. Pretty smart.
Yeah, I just want to keep pressing my advantage while stopping Corey from potentially getting anything going.
I'll path this.
Okay.
So I'll take 0. Teferi's going to die.
I will get a mountain, I guess.
Okay.
No, let's get a swamp.
A swamp?
Because I drew an Arid Mesa.
Okay.
And that's going to get a mountain. So let's do that. I'll go to 12, cracking the Arid Mesa.
Okay.
And you have 3 in hand?
3 in hand. Field.
I think I'm going to take this opportunity to land the Kroxa now that you used a path on my Channeler.
Okay.
If Corey had just taken the damage, I would have just held up Seasoned Pyromancer and not wanted to extend my better threat.
Makes sense.
But here, let's Kroxa 2 lands and 3 discard spells. Or let's leave spells when I can. Let's get rid of the sword.
Okay, and I got an interesting one. Like, Field of Ruin is not that great, but it does deal me 3. It's not the biggest deal right now, but I also have another card that just isn't that good. But yeah, honestly, I think I'd rather make land drops here and not take 3 than cycle a shark. So I'll get rid of that.
Okay, pass the turn.
All right, I'll sack this to 9.
You got 9 to 12. You have 2 cards in hand, one of which is Field of Ruin.
Yep. Not great.
So what am I scared of? I like neither Planeswalker can really land cleanly. Another snap. The last Snapcaster. I think your list only has 3 snaps.
Who knows? All right. Draw. I'll play field, and I know about that. Yep, that's right. Then I will pass to you.
Okay, draw.
Okay.
I will declare tax.
I got a Cryptic Command. I think I actually want to just bounce draw. I don't care about this too much. And you can't bring it back right now. It's either I tap draw and try to find a Supreme Verdict, or I bounce draw and just deal with Crocs, and then I just have to deal with these. I think that's better. I'm going to bounce draw.
Bounce draw. Get in with the tokens.
Okay, we'll take it down to 7.
7. I will then play Croxa.
Okay, I will discard this card, which usually does not have text against you.
Okay.
Not that great, anyways. Lingering Souls, if I can get it on the front half, that's pretty cool, but...
I will then play Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay.
Trigger.
Pretty good, yep.
And where are you?
Kind of good you got in there.
Just got a Batterskull.
Okay.
And do I want to play the Lingering Souls is the last question, really. And it actually doesn't affect my clock. So I kind of think the answer is no, but I have so much going on.
You do got some stuff going on.
I'm wondering, like, if you played, say you play like a Jace, you could, +2 it and then set up to try to brainstorm the next turn. And I think if you Verdict, I still have plenty going on after that. So I actually am going to fire the Lingering Souls off.
Okay.
Get some Jadeens.
That resolves.
Pass the turn. I haven't seen Jadeen in so long, so.
There you go. You had to get some in there. Okay. Well, let's just go like this, and I'll pass to you.
I like that.
I don't.
I like that quite a bit. Now I draw the Fatal Push for your Celestial Colony.
There you go. There you go. It's the way to do it.
I will slam in with the tokens.
Okay, I will animate, and I'll block a Jadeen.
Yeah, you take 3, brings you to 4.
Yep.
And I will pass the turn.
Okay, definitely just looking to Seasoned Pyromancer there. All right, I am going to field Blackleaf Cliffs.
I'll float a red.
Okay. All right. Then I'll move to second main.
Sure.
Thought maybe I could get you to overextend. I did find the Wrath.
It's pretty good. Creatures are down.
Okay. Then I'll pass to you.
You have 1 card in hand.
1 card.
Slightly awkward position here because I want to Croxa next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And if I use a Pyromancer on the end step, then I don't have enough cards in my graveyard.
That is a little awkward.
I think with just 1 card in your hand, I just really want to Croxa.
I don't blame you.
It sacrifices some value, but it's just so good.
Yep.
Black, red. I guess I only have 2 red, so I've got to play this along with it. That's fine. So I will escape the Croxa.
Bang, down to 1.
Go to 1. I'll also play a Dark Confidant.
Okay. Looks like we need another Verdict.
Pass the turn.
All right, Verdict, snap. Huh! What about a Smell Stare? That wouldn't have been bad last turn.
Yeah.
That was my 1 of last card. Okay, GG.
Wow,
GG.
just so much card advantage out of this Mardu deck.
Yeah,
Stoneforge
I liked
Mystic,
it.
Dark Confidant, Croxa, Lingering Souls, Magmatic Channeler.
It's so nice to have that be a viable strategy of these creatures that give you a lot of value, like Dark Confidant and Croxa, where normally it's just like, yeah, but Uro's better. You know,
Yes.
like that's the argument, and then that makes it way less fun of a format. So I'm hyped for today, to be honest. Modern just seems great, even if I'm losing the first game here. We'll be coming back in the sideboard, so we're in the post-board games, excuse me. But we are going to be heading to sideboarding here, so we'll be taking a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to sideboarding here on Versus Live between Azorius Control and Mardu Stoneblade. From my end, I'm taking out Force Negations. You have a ton of creatures. Not a very good card against you. I'm taking out the 1 Vendilion Click and the 2 Shark Typhoons. They're just not really that good against you. Shark seems absolutely awful, to be honest. And V-Click could snag like a Batter Skull or something, but not very powerful either. Bringing in Spell Queller actually seems pretty good on the play. One Settle, I think will get you pretty well. You're not going to play around a 1-of, right? I got a couple Ashioks to deal with your graveyard, and then one extra Timely reinforcement with a plan where if I win the next game to switch out a Timely for Ashiok when I'm on the draw is my plan moving forward.
And on my side, just bringing in a couple more discard spells against the control deck.
Okay.
Angrass Rampage as better removal than Lightning Bolt at dealing with Planeswalkers, which are Corey's key threats.
Yep.
I'm trimming on Fatal Pushes along with cutting the one Lightning Bolt, leaving in a couple pushes because of the threat of Celestial Colonnade. That's a card that can contain some, tokens that are sitting around after the dust settles when we're trading resources early.
Yep.
So I don't mind the first copy of Fatal Push. I did go back and forth on whether or not to have Kolaghan's Command in my deck versus Kaya's Guile. I'm leaving in the Guiles for now just to see how relevant some of the modes on it are.
Okay.
I'm normally much bigger fan of Kolaghan's Command in any attrition-based matchup, but Corey's removal is mostly all exile-based, and that's the mode that you really want in the attrition matchups is to rebuy your creatures and get more threats.
Yep.
So if that mode is limited based on the complexion of Corey's deck, then Kolaghan's Command's stock goes down quite a bit. So I'm going to leave in Guile, but that's something that might change for Game 3.
Cool. Sounds great. Let's shuffle these up. And Rob, we'd love some questions from you, from our lovely audience.
All right. I got a few here.
Nice.
The first one, Yargs wants to know, with Uro gone, what do you think is going to be the premier one CMC removal spell between Bolt, Push, and Path?
That is a good question. Because, it just kind of had to be Path, right? Because there was Omnath and Uros running around everywhere. But, we even saw in this matchup, when I pathed you, getting you to land 4 so you could Kroxa, it was a cost, And decks like this don't have a choice, right? It's the only one I could play out of them. But if you were to be able to have a color, a deck with 2 of the colors, which one would you lean on? And I like Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt a little bit more than Paths, personally, just because I really hate giving them a land when I want to kill an early threat. And that's what 1-mana removal is like. You want to be killing stuff early. So I tend to think Fatal Push is the best out of all of them, but I don't think black is the best color out of them, if that's a decent answer.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that it's always going to shift with the metagame.
True.
And those 3 removal spells just exist on their own tier to me. So they're all always going to be good because they're all very powerful cards. Which one is exactly the best one can shift week to week or month to month. Right now, there's a lot of Monastery Swiftspears around,
Exactly.
so I agree with Corey that Path stock is the lowest of the 3, and Bolt and Push are a little higher. You see a little bit of the Shadow decks too, which is where Push's stock goes above Bolt's, but we're also seeing more of the Prowess decks again, and especially Izzet Prowess with Stormwing Entity. That's where Lightning Bolt really shines, because Push can't touch an entity, and Bolt generally can, though sometimes can't.
I know, when they have growth, like a lot of those decks have been playing mutagenic growth as well too in these Swiftspear decks, and that's a big liability, Yeah. But you push a Swiftspear when they plan to mutagenic growth to save it, and that's a pretty big loss for them.
Yeah, so I'm with Corey. I think Fatal Push probably edges out in terms of being number 1 right now, but 2 weeks from now it could be very different.
Yeah, agreed. And honestly, we're not really focusing on the number 1 removal spell here, and that's Oust. You're not getting a land with that. Sure, you can have some life, but this is the real number 1 here.
The one I actually like quite a bit right now that Aspiring Spike has been touting is On Thin Ice.
Okay.
Very, very easy to get, between fetch lands and basics, 12 snow lands in your deck effectively, right? That's enough to consistently have it, early. Maybe you want a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he's been playing a Bant Stoneblade deck. He main decks On Thin Ice and Sideboard's Path.
Hey, that makes sense to me, because when I was messing around with Pioneer a lot, when I was playing Jeskai Luka a ton, I think I was one of the first to just play 4 On Thin Ice in the main and just play a bunch of Triomes, duels, and with fetch lands, it seems even better. So I like that card a lot. And if there's a lot of ways that people are destroying lands and stuff, up against Gruul, if you get your land pillaged, of course, that's going to be pretty brutal. But outside of that, we don't see a ton of LD. So
there's potential for Cleansing Wildfire to make their way into sideboards with the Rise of Tron.
Yeah.
That could punish you for playing Onthanice, where they just bring that in against you when they otherwise wouldn't.
True.
But definitely helps you out in the Swift Spear matchups. Where it hurts you is against the creature combo matchups, where you want to be interacting at instant speed.
True.
Against the Heliod decks when they're playing that Walking Ballista and you need the answer.
Storm.
Or
Storm for Brawl and stuff. Yeah.
And that the Colossus Hammer, mono equipment decks. So
true.
There's always going to be some give and take, but I think between your main deck and your sideboard, I like white decks having access to both Path and Onthanice.
Agreed. Okay, Rob, one more question from you if you got it.
I do. Kilowog wants to know, with Corey bringing in Grave Hate, Ross, how relevant is K-Command bringing back or being able to save a Kroxa in this deck?
You save from an Ashiok. That is not a play I would think I would be particularly interested in, especially with Ashiok in particular, because it has so many bullets in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think against that Ashiok you're going to find a window to land the Kroxa. I would actually be more inclined to save a threat like Seasoned Pyromancer or not Stoneforge Mystic, because Ashiok shuts that one down too.
Yeah,
or Dark Confidant, right? Just to get that threat back and have something that I can stick on the battlefield and stop using the graveyard in the face of the graveyard.
Yeah, that's really what you got to do. And that's why my graveyard hate isn't perfect, because you're a deck that uses the graveyard, but it's not number one. It's not dredge where you rely on it. But
so the best way to beat graveyard hate is actually to be able to ignore it.
Yeah.
And decks like dredge, they're all in on the graveyard, can't do that because their deck is too all in.
Attack for one, Stinkweed Imp, get in there.
Oh, I have attacked with a lot of Stinkweed Imps in my day. Well, don't worry.
I was worried. Thank you.
But with a deck like this, like Corey said, that is utilizing the graveyard but not dependent on the graveyard, your best bet is to just let them have their graveyard hate cards and use your other threats more effectively, and just generally try to use your graveyard cards more readily. I'm not going to sit on my Seasoned Pyromancers and Lingering Souls as often in the post-board games, because I know there's always the looming threat of that Ashiok coming off the top and depriving me of them. So you're going to see me be a little bit more aggressive in utilizing those cards to make sure I get the opportunity to do so.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for the great questions, y'all. Keep them coming in. I'm going to be going first in this next game.
And I was ahead in that first game, and I mulliganed. I was down a card to start.
You did.
And if you had asked me at the end of the game who mulliganed, I would have said you.
Yeah. Thank you for that astute observation there, Ross. I'll keep my hand here.
I was reminded of that because my hand here is also not very good.
Ship it. I don't know. You're wearing the anti-mulligan shirt. I don't know if you can mulligan anymore this show.
But isn't it the anti-mulligan club? So I'm in the mulligan club.
Oh, yeah.
We're just self-loathing.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's confusing.
Sounds like a perfect club for us.
Yeah. This is the kind of hand I like. I want to convince myself to keep it, but I just can't.
Okay.
5 lands, Dark Confidant, removal spell.
Yeah, that's not great. On the play, I probably would keep that because you automatically resolve Dark Confidant unless I have Spell Snare.
Yeah, you're a Spell Snare deck.
Yeah, but I don't want to path that, but I do not deal with Dark Confidant well.
Honestly, if you did path it, then it wouldn't be that bad.
I'd still have to path it, but I wouldn't be happy about it. But yeah.
Well, you'd be happy about it the next turn when I did nothing.
Yeah. Sacrifice a planeswalker.
Ross, I don't have any planeswalkers.
Exactly.
I said sacrifice a planeswalker.
Technically, flavor-wise, you're each planeswalkers, right? Isn't that why you're casting the spells? So Corey's been exiled from the show.
Dang it.
Better
I was having a good life, too. I didn't know an Angrath Rampage would do me in. All right, trying 6.
It worked so well the last time.
Yep. Yeah, you should just start at 6.
Okay, how about I go into 5 since that one has no lands?
Okay. How far can we go? Rob, do you have one more question while he's mulliganing to Oblivion?
I do. So this is Zori's deck has performed well, obviously, but what do you think about Jeskai? Do you feel like the meta needs to move to a more creature-heavy base?
Yeah, I think it has to be really aggressive. So we look at when Jeskai was good back in the day, and it was like Bant Spirits was everywhere.
Humans.
Yeah.
Even Infect was pretty popular around that time.
Is it Phoenix was popular? So you got to play the Exile removal as well as Bolts and stuff, even though that matchup wasn't that great.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, there was just a lot of aggressive decks. A lot of Noble Hierarchs were running around. And I think that's what makes Jeskai really good. Because I think when Blue-White versus Jeskai is good is when Lightning Bolt is good. When Lightning Bolt is a removal spell that I look at my past and I'm like, God, I wish this was a Lightning Bolt. That's when I want to play Jeskai. Yeah. But it's got to be in the majority of your matchups, because otherwise those lightning bolts are like force negations. And if you're playing against Tron, which one would you rather have? You know. So I like blue-white right now. But if these prowess decks and Heliod decks keep coming up, I think it could easily be the time. And that Flagstone Cleansing Wildfire version of Jeskai, the Aspiring Spike version, I really like as well. And I think that deck is just good. So
yeah, that is a brew.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make sure I hit my land drops this game since we have some card advantage.
And pass to you. The Delta.
That was not great.
Good.
I will play...
I'm going to correct this while you do your thing.
I have enough good 2-drops I can try to draw that I am going to fire off this Duress on turn 1.
Okay. That was kind of brutal because I only have one really good card. It's the Oust, yep.
Yeah, I will take the Teferi.
Oh, come on. Okay, so I'm at 19. You are at 20. I'm Teferi-less for now. And then I'm guessing you're done?
Yep.
Okay. A draw, a land, and a go.
Wow.
The goods?
Okay, I will play...
Be careful, I can gain 6 life next turn.
Marsh Flats. That's why I'm playing.
Dang it!
That's why I'm playing a fetch land.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay, land, pass to you.
Crack this Marsh Flats.
Okay.
Go to 19. Get... Ooh. Sure, let's get Savai Triumph.
Ooh, spicy. Nice little addition. I assume you play exactly one?
Yes.
Yes. I love that about Modern with Triumphs. You know, I've been playing a lot of like Omnath decks and stuff, and just having that turn 1 crack for a Triumph and then just really smooths out your draws, even if you only have like a 2-lander or a 3-lander. That's just like the one you get right away. You don't have to think about which duel you want.
Yeah, it does. It frees you up quite a bit.
Yep.
You can get more basics, so you don't take as much damage.
Yep.
Okay, I will
decide which one of your 5 lands to play.
Something like that. Play Bloodstained Mire and crack it. Go to 18.
Okay, you freed up me gaining 6 life. You fish. You absolute fish.
And I will play a Seasoned Pyromancer.
Seasoned Pyromancer. I'll quell it. Quell it. I don't want you fixing your draws. Done?
Pass the turn.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll attack for 2.
I'm at 16.
Okay. I will play a land tapped and pass to you.
Okay. I will play... Marsh Flats.
Okay.
And Seasoned Pyromancer.
Okay, that resolves.
I will discard the other 2 lands I've drawn this game.
Okay. No spirits or no elementals for you.
And pass the turn.
Okay. I wish I could draw some blue cards here.
I really wanted the 2 things you drew to be 2 lands, I'll be honest.
Rob, whose side do you want here?
Whatever is the most entertaining.
Yes, the side of comedy.
I will attack.
I'll go to 14.
Okay, and then I'll pass to you.
I'll admit I had fun cutting out the Showdown of the Scalds clips from the other week.
Yeah, those are nice. Those are nice.
Get in for 2.
Okay, I'll take it. 17.
I will play a Magmatic Channeler.
Okay.
I will crack this Marsh Flats.
Okay.
Go to 13.
Yep.
Where are you, Basic Swamp?
Okay.
I will go to 11 for Sacred Foundry and play Liliana of the Veil.
Liliana of the Veil?
We draw another counterspell? That doesn't sound like the first 2 counterspells.
No, I did not. That resolves.
Okay, I will -2 targeting you. Could we draw a Snapcaster Mage?
No.
That would also be disappointing.
No. I am thinking I want to respond by pathing my Queller.
Wants a land.
Yes. All right. Okay.
So I'll draw 2 off the Pyromancer.
Yep, that's disgusting.
And I'll pass the turn.
Okay.
This game turned around.
Yeah, it did. I just kept drawing white cards instead of blue cards when I want to be pushing my advantage, so it's not good for me.
I've got plenty of creatures for you to target with the white cards.
Yeah, I am so dead. Yeah, I don't think we really have a choice here. I will verdict and pass to you.
Okay. Well, let's start this turn with an Inquisition of Kozilek.
All right, I just have all white cards here. I'm not dead in the sense where I'm going to die soon, but I'm dead where you're gaining the kind of advantage that's going to push you ahead in the long term. And I path there solely so if I top deck a Teferi, it's actually a decent card.
So, how do I want to play this? I am going to take... the Path to Exile.
All right. Path is gone.
I am going to play... let's plus Liliana.
Okay. All right. I think you won't play around that setup. Or I think you'll play around that pretty
play
well.
Dark Confidant, flashback Lingering Souls.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right.
So SBS has said, how is Corey losing? Shaheen said blue-white is the best deck in Modern now.
Touche.
I had to decide which of the 1-mana removal spells I wanted to take, and I initially thought I'll just leave him the path and I'll get a land, but I actually wanted to make it awkward for Corey if he drew Teferi, and because I don't think there's a huge difference with me getting the land, and actually leaving the Dark Confidant near the top of my library is also nice.
Yeah, no, that's true too. Yeah, this is not too good because you got all that value in your yard. Otherwise, the 3/3/1s from Timely might actually not be bad, but not great now. Not great now.
Without the Pyromancers, I might have taken the Timely.
Yep. All right. I'll oust this and Timely. Just make 3/1/1s.
So I'm at 14.
Yep.
You're at 17.
And I'll pass to you. You're at what?
14 from the oust, right?
I do at 13, but I might have missed something.
I went to 11 on one turn.
Okay, so you're up to 14.
Yeah.
14, 17.
That's an interesting draw. Do I want to trade it for the card in Corey's hand? There's something to be said for taking the Liliana up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just going to tick up. It's not my favorite trade in the world.
Counter spells, not the best. So now you have another Dark Confidant you're drawing. Okay.
Yep. And in the interest of play, if I'm going to make that play to take up the Liliana, I'm also going to protect it entirely, so just get in for 1.
Okay, 16.
Pass the turn.
All right. Cool.
And the Mana League would have traded for one of the Dark Confidants I played next turn anyway, so honestly,
Yeah.
I think I ended up getting paid off there.
I'll attack Liliana.
I will activate a Seasoned Pyromancer before blocks.
Okay.
I'll trade down.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, pass to you.
And now we're in the same awkward spot, but this time I am just going to jam.
All right, counter it.
Okay. Well, it's plus Liliana, get in for 1.
Okay, 15.
Pass the turn.
Give me a good one. It's not a good one. Here go. No point in me destroying a land, really.
Plus Liliana.
Okay.
Back for 1.
Take it.
14 all, pass the turn.
All right, we'll destroy your Triome.
Sure. No reason for me to activate the Pyromancer main phase.
All right, yep. You just got one more Pyromancer in there, right?
Yes.
Okay, but now I have to deal with Liliana sooner. I'm going to lose half my land.
Plains. I have Crocs of Mana regardless, and now another Field of Ruin will cut me off white.
Okay, I guess I got this for Mystic Sanctuary. What will I be able to return back? Here we go. I did not, I needed to not break twice in a row here, that's for sure.
Yep. End step. Now it's time for the handsome pack to come out.
Okay.
Yeah, I will plus here, pitch this Thoughtseize.
All right, I guess you're breaking as well, but...
Get in for 3.
11.
11 to 14, I'll pass.
I'll crack this. I want to thin my deck here.
Yeah, definitely needs to hit here.
Yeah, and at this point, I just don't really have good hits. Something that catches me up here. Like Cryptic Command, I guess, is good. To like bounce Liliana or something, but... What I really want that this list doesn't have, that I would definitely have, is just Celestial Purges. I think that card is so good.
Yeah, at least in the sideboard.
Yep.
Also, what you would have really liked this game is a Colonnade.
Yeah, Colonnade would have been nice. All right, well, I guess I did get the best possible, but I think I have to bounce draw that. All right. Gain 6, make 3 1/1s. I'll take that.
Okay.
17, bounce to you.
You're at 16, right? You fetched ends up to 10.
Yep, you're right. 16.
Attack for... Jesus. Yeah, that was a good sequence of draws.
Yeah, I needed it.
Let's play Liliana and plus.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Okay. Untap draw.
I'm going to crack this fetch on your turn, go to 13.
Sure. I'll attack Liliana, I suppose.
I will trade down.
All 3 or...
Okay. Oh, yeah, all 3.
Okay, and then... Oops. Land go. Back at this game.
Yeah. Got a lot of good draws here.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have a Lingering Souls.
Correct.
Okay, I thought you were forgetting that. I was like, nice.
Plus, discard a Thoughtseize.
Okay, I'll go to 15. Now we're live. Like, it's a fairy here. It's just excellent. So now we have good draws.
Yeah.
I suppose we want a Plains this time. All right, Snapcaster, Teferi, Cryptic Command. We got some good ones. Okay. I'm at 15 to 14. Yep. Your go.
It's a pretty good one.
All right.
How do I best do this? Plussing this is better against Path. Plus Liliana. Okay, I had Croxa.
Dang it.
And if I just play the Croxa normally, sure, I get 3 damage if Corey's holding a land, but he hasn't been doing that the entire game against Liliana, so I suspect he's holding a spell. And if it's Path to Exile specifically, you can Path with the sacrifice trigger on the stack.
That would have been nice.
And I get very punished. So let's play that.
And you can actually bring back Croxa, so.
Oh yeah, I had the planes. I didn't even. I just counted 6. I didn't even think about having the planes.
So I'm gonna go to 12. You're gonna 14. That had to have been best possible. But you did draw 3 hand disruption spells in a row, so that's not so bad. Done?
Yep. We each had 1 turn of best possible and a bunch of turns of bricks.
Yeah, I guess I gotta keep this.
That's a little scary.
Pass to you.
What in the world did you draw?
At this point, Liliana's ultimate isn't. I mean, it's good, but it's not insane. Just lose 4 quadruple land destruction spell.
What could you have drawn? I think Snapcaster Mage is the thing I'm scared about, so I'm going to plus Liliana.
I'll pass.
I will Fatal Push it in response.
Oh, okay.
Got him!
Dang it, you did give it.
And replay this Croxa.
Oh my god, I got so punished for waiting. Oh no.
1, 2. We want to leave 4 spells for Magmatic Channeler.
I guess I know what the social clip's going to be.
Why do you even have Fatal Push in your deck?
Huh? I told you, but it's Celestial Colonnade.
I guess. God, you're lucky. All right, I'm at 9.
Yeah,
done.
You do go to 9. There's 5. You're up.
Ooh. All right. 2 can play at that game. Okay. So I still just probably have to tuck Croxa. Or try to get really lucky. Yeah, we're gonna tuck. Pass to you. This game's pretty wild.
Okay, and I bricked.
Okay.
Definitely ultimating.
Here's my permanents. Do with them as you please.
How do I want to play this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, I kind of want to just go Teferi against lands and make sure that Teferi is dead.
Yeah, that would kill the Teferi, or I'd be really bold.
I'm trying to think, like, how many lands can I put with the Teferi and still have Corey take them? Like, if I put a single plains over here, are you really taking this pile?
I have a line in my head. I don't know. We'll see what you do, but...
And then I like, how far can I push it? Are you taking this pile? And I'm like, am I happy if you take this pile? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The main goal here is to deal with the Teferi. The good news is if Corey does take a Teferi Landlight pile, you're not going to generate a ton of card advantage because I'm at least going to be plussing the Liliana.
Yeah.
And I have Croxa coming off,
not next turn, but the turn after.
Yeah,
right?
in the turn after. So I'm not that scared of the card advantage from the Teferi.
Yep.
So I think I will get in order to get real value, I would need to get rid of 3 lands, right? Because that stops you from snapping a 4-drop, which is your most expensive thing.
Yeah, snap Cryptic.
Could punish me by just hitting lands and getting up to that's okay. I think that's actually the most punishing case, is me giving you a couple lands, you keeping the Teferi, and then drawing into some lands and forcing me to deal with that. But if I just give you lands and you just have them.
I do have lands if you give me lands.
Yeah. This is a tough split.
That is tough.
Honestly, like, my instinct is this. So I'm just going to go with that.
I think that's the best possible. I would have kept it 3. That was my line. But 2, I can't do that. So these are gone.
Value.
Done?
Pass the turn.
All right.
Yeah. I just
Teferi number 2. Go.
Sort of.
If only you had another big Teferi.
Okay.
If only you had another big Teferi.
Yes, dang it.
Fetch brings you to 8.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't lower my clock with Croxa. Croxa's just going to kill me anyways. All right. Well, how about a Jace on top to put that Crocs on the bottom? That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, Jace is definitely the best draw.
Okay.
So I'll cut.
Yeah, you better cut. You better cut. Thanks for cutting me to my Jace the Mind Sculptor. Go.
I am once again going to play around Path by plussing Lily first.
What a tilt.
And let's go with Croxa. You go to 5.
Yep.
I'll equip and pass the turn.
Right on time. GG.
Put up quite the fight.
Yeah, that was you know what? These draw go games in Modern. Remember back in the day before Uro was dominant, we had all these crazy games of Modern, right? Where they'd go like 20 turns long. It feels good to have those back. Otherwise, it's just, if you don't do anything for a couple of turns and you draw 2 Thoughtseize, Uro just killed you.
Yeah.
Always. So
the snowball was just too fast rolling down the hill.
Yeah. But hey, that was impressive there. I didn't draw, I never landed a Planeswalker early, but you did Thoughtseize away 2 Planeswalkers both games. That would have been awesome, right? Like that Teferi on 3 was really what my hand was, and I just kept drawing White Exile stuff, which it's good late game, but it's sure as heck not good against a Liliana.
It can be good early too. It's just that your hand wasn't balanced.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you ended up getting punished by the token generating part of the deck. And if my draw had been all Magnetic Channelers and Dark Confidants, you would have been happy with the white.
True, yeah.
It's just not the way the draws happen to line up.
Yeah, but all right. You were going to be taking down round 1 here. Impressive work from the Mardu side.
Yeah. Normally I'm not a big fan of just sort of dopey mid-range decks, but this one I like the diversity of threats.
Mm-hmm.
All the cards that are coming back from the graveyard, but Croxa is going big. This one big threat. You've got the token makers to go a little bit wide. You've got immediate card advantage from Stoneforge Mystic and Seasoned Pyromancer.
Yeah.
You've got recurring card advantage from Magnetic Channeler and Dark Confidant.
Yeah.
And obviously a million good removal options, and you can mix and match that for whatever metagame you're expecting. But
the
diversity of threats that I really like.
The thing I love the most about this, because there was that Rakdos deck that was running around, Rakdos mid-range, it just like main deck Blood Moons, Pyromancer, basically the same exact deck without white. But the thing I love about this deck is the Stoneforge Mystic package is another non-graveyard interactive element to the deck, so that like against the Rakdos deck, I just brought in Ashiok and Rest in Pieces, and I was like completely happy with that. That was usually good enough. But against this deck with Stoneforge as well as Dark Confidants, I really like it. So
yeah.
As far as my deck, Azorius Control, completely fine. Our draws were a little bit awkward. I would in no way, shape, or form say that this is a bad deck. Didn't work out for me here, but that's okay.
Yeah, definitely for a matchup like this, I think you probably needed, a second Teferi in there to hit earlier, just a little bit more juice, right? You needed your top decks to be a little bit better in those late game scenarios, and your
Purge. I really think Purge is a great card. I mean, I know Aether Gust is what you really want in your sideboard, but even instead of like
I actually think Aether Gust stock is way down because there's not a lot of Primeval Titans around.
There isn't, yeah.
You're seeing a lot more.
It's not good against prowess and stuff, so I do think it's quite, and it's good against prowess, like killing Dark Confidants, killing Liliana, killing Monetary Swiftspear, and not giving them a land. I would play 3. I would play 3 of them. I think that card is unbelievable right now. So
yeah, I'm with you. Purge up, Gust down, and when you're playing a deck like this as Azorius Control, it's really important that you build your deck in tune with the metagame.
Yeah, but I do think you need Gust for what it's worth in this style of deck, because you just cannot beat Cavern of Souls Primetime at all. So I think you got to have both, but
you just need to find the right numbers of them.
Yeah, you got to massage the numbers, I would say. Yeah. All right, everyone. Ross is taking the first W here in New Modern. We got round 2 coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we'll be right back here on Versus Live.